If anybody's noticed, I haven't been doing very many of these videos lately, and reason being is because it doesn't do anything. I mean, I know it doesn't. I used to feel like it was my little way of, helping, because I really can't do much else. But nobody gives a fuck, But once in a while, something gets me so pissed that do a video. And Mayor Bloomberg, wow. If you didn't hear, he was on, well, let's start from the beginning. Pretty much before everybody was even cleared out of the movie theater of the Colorado shooting, he was making statements. Remember, this is the mayor of New York City. He was making statements about gun control, about, and I understand, I just ate potato chips. I understand, and agree with the stance on illegal weapons. It's illegal weapons. Completely agree. But he was politicizing, he was using this event, which, let's find me somebody in power who hasn't used this to help their agenda. He was making statements minutes after the shooting became known about his stance on guns and how, it needs to change. Well, he was on Piers Morgan, and normally I like Piers Morgan. I mean, I like his show because he's a dick. I mean, let's be honest, he's a fucking dickhead, and he asks questions to be a dickhead, which is normally cool. He's never, in my opinion, and I haven't seen every single episode and seen every interview he's done, normally he doesn't have his own agenda, in my opinion, from what I've seen. But obviously, since this shooting, he has had his own agenda. But it's not his fault. It has nothing to do with Piers. But to have Bloomberg, while on this show, state that he feels every single cop in the United States should go on strike until the public turns in all their weapons and disarms themselves. I have an issue with that, you fucking moron. The bad guys aren't going to fucking turn their weapons in. And the bad guys are the ones who kill cops, not the fucking good guys. And I am sick and tired of motherfuckers in our society that want to stop good people from getting weapons. If you want to change the laws that state before you can buy a fucking automatic assault weapon that you need to be looked at by a shrink, I can't fucking fight that. If you need to take a fucking random test, because you don't even need to be looked at by a shrink, take a fucking random test. Those fucking tests that they give out, that your psyche and shit. Take that shit. And if that's not good enough, fuck it. Make them have to talk to a shrink. But remember that people who are smart enough can lie to fucking shrinks. So there's nothing you can do except for banning weapons. I mean, just completely banning them. The problem is, the bad guys are still going to fucking get them. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Your solution would be great in a perfect world if bad guys didn't exist, and if there were only accidental deaths. I'm an idiot, and while I was cleaning my gun, I didn't notice it was loaded, and I shot myself. Well, you're a fucking moron. And 200 years ago, 100 years ago, morons died because they were morons. And they didn't add to the fucking gene pool. In 2012, you can shoot yourself and live, and then have kids, and you'll have moronic kids. Oh well. That sucks, but it's just the way it is. I cannot believe a mayor stated that every single police officer should go on strike. What and you've got other politicians and heads of precincts and the head honcho of whatever fucking police officer website saying, yeah, no, not so much. We don't think that's the case. You can't stop crazy people. I'm sorry, you can't. And I feel for the people that lost their lives and the families of those involved. And those that were involved. I can't express, my anger and my outrage enough. I can't verbalize it. The problem is I don't think weapons should be outlawed because bad guys will still get fucking weapons. Are you gonna outlaw fucking kitchen knives because people kill each other with knives? I want to know where this stops, because that's what nobody seems to fucking get. My fallback rant, because I can't fucking stand them, is the motherfucking TSA. If you know me, you know I can't fucking stand them. And it's only getting worse. First, airports, TSA, great. Grope everybody, feel them up, whatever. Then, in Texas, they were on buses, and they still are, and doing checkpoints with state police on highways. Now, they're in California at bus stations and train stations. It's not going to stop. And it amazes me. And you can be smart about it. You can say, well, back in the day, people walked around and everywhere, and they had a gun on their hip, and it was legal, and it's not like that anymore. So stuff changes. I'll give you that stuff changes. I get that. Our society today isn't the same society of 50 years ago, or 40 years ago, or 20 years ago. I understand that. The problem is we're taking away rights, inherent rights that our country was founded upon. The right to bear arms. It is my right as a citizen of the United States of America to own a fucking weapon. I don't get where it became okay to turn our backs on that. Because one asshole who's fucking crazy killed people. He went off the fucking deep end and he shot and killed people. I'm sorry. That is not a good enough reason to make every single person in the United States not able to carry a weapon. Not able to own a weapon. You are never going to stop people from getting a weapon illegally. Look at prohibition. Did you stop people from getting alcohol illegally? I don't, and this is what it does, because nobody gives a fuck. Nobody does. My hands are tied, I can't do anything, and nobody fucking cares enough to do anything. All anybody cares about is fucking money. That's it. And until that changes, which it never fucking will, we're screwed. The regular person is fucking screwed. That's just the way it is. Rant over.